the Soup. This time we actually have a guest on site with us, and you can see it's the only guy amongst us ladies here. It's going to be interesting to get his point of view on our topic. So, of course, ladies, we need to say welcome to Val.
Hey Val.
Hi,
Welcome.
You're in one piece now.
I feel so.
Loved?
Yes.
The word I was looking for. Yeah.
Let me take this opportunity and thanking you for joining us here on the Soup. We have a very interesting topic today. We're talking about cheating. Before we left on the break, Medalise and I were actually in a conversation about relationships and traditionally what people think relationships are versus what they've actually turned into in this modern era, where you have the traditional two persons in a relationship,
right.
And then you have some individuals who decide on their own they want to invite someone in at specific time periods. I guess that suits them.
Right.
And Cindy and Chocolate were a little shocked, like, really?
Like people
Like-
actually do that?
Yeah.
She said I was shocked. She said I was shocked. Like,
You were more than shocked.
I was like so way off, not shocked. Of something totally different because, apart from the non-traditional habits that we have developed and cultured our relationships into being,
Right.
I think there are other relationships that it's kind of unique, but people don't talk about. Like when people agree.
It's like taboo.
When
Yeah.
people agree
Yes.
to have this one person.
Not two people, two adults.
When two adults.
Let's just
Yes.
stress that part.
Yes.
Yeah, two adults.
Let's say two young adults, because sometimes it's usually the young adults who are doing it,
Right.
agree to have this one person as a one-time experience.
Okay.
And then they say, oh, that was really nice, maybe we should do it again. And it happens to be a second-time experience.
Okay.
And then one of the two in the relationship, the original partners, continue to see that person on the outside.
Oh, that's from that
Exactly.
side you were looking
That's
at.
what I was
Yes.
thinking.
No,
of. I'm like,
no.
Would you consider that cheating when they had invited that person initially into the relationship?
Then have they, after that experience, made an adjustment to their contract?
Oh, just
Because
No
because
adjustment.
no adjustment.
There's
So-
the same. There's the usual agreement that we in it together. We are in the action together.
And did their agreement state? Did it specifically indicate that it's one person?
Sounds like a contract,
this-
right?
I know,
Well,
right?
it is in the court of law.
It's a relationship. It's
yeah,
a contract.
yeah.
But
You're
it-
making an agreement. So
verbal
did they
contract.
agree that it's just this one person, this one time? After this one time, this one person is gone. Had they agreed that? They agreed on that.
But I think honestly I think that
If they
really
agreed, then the person going out and continuing to see that other person
Would be cheating.
would be
Yeah.
cheating.
Yeah. But that
Because
really-
it goes
it-
contrary to
Well,
the
it
agreement.
really
that you
messes
made.
up a relationship because honestly like if you go outside of the contract you guys had and you agreed that we'll do a little something on the side, so what are you saying, that I'm not good enough so you have to go on the outside?
No, sometimes
No.
they actually discuss
No,
things
no,
and
no,
say-
no, no.
And somebody brings on the idea, and maybe both of them were thinking it, but only one person was brave enough to say, "Don't you ever thought about it? You're like, doing
Because
You
something
know what? I'm
else."
interested to know Val's take on it. What's your take on our discussion?
Well, in the society that we live now, we have girls who kind of find other women attractive. So
Yes.
it's sometimes it's not really the man initiating, hey, this is a girl that kind of like. So it could be both people wanting to have this thing. So it's an agreement that they both come up, they decide, okay, we're going to do this. But if someone cheats the agreement, I'm using the word cheat here. They're cheating the agreement, so it's cheating. So
Exactly.
If you go against what was agreed upon, you are a cheater.
I'm with you on that
can I
one,
ask
Val.
you a
I'm
question?
so with you.
Can I ask you a question? If you're in a relationship, you're very happy with your partner,
Right.
and then you find out that she's very happy with you, but she went ahead and had sexual intercourse with another woman, how would you feel? Sorry to bring it personal, like to bring it home, but because some guys, they're like, oh,
Or generally, how do
Right,
you
yeah.
Some
think
guys
that
actually
a guy would
say-
actually take it
some guys actually say they don't mind, but they would like to
to be part of it?
Part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the first thing that comes to our mind is that it's a physical thing. So
Okay.
that's what kind of moves us. It's a physical thing that's happening there. So most men would find that exciting, that might be attractive. But then when you realize that there is an emotional
Little
thing there,
attachment.
it's a bit different. So
Yes.
if my girlfriend is having an emotional thing, that means my girlfriend is perhaps probably bisexual in a sense, not physically, but she may actually be in love with
this
somebody
individual,
else.
yeah.
So now, if you're in love with another girl, then that's problems for me because to me, you can't
Don't
be.
feel like you're good enough.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not just
It
the two.
destroys your masculinity.
Why are you trying
It
to
emasculates you.
It doesn't emasculate me because women are different.
Yeah.
So she's offering something different. It's just that I didn't know that you were that way. So it's almost like you're in a relationship for a while and you're realizing that your husband or your boyfriend is gay. So it kind of makes you feel like, you're puzzled, you're confused. So that's
What
really
am I
what it
not
is.
But guys,
doing?
do you
Why am I not
do you
enough?
see what one of the major issues here is? The underlying factor, communication.
I was
see,
just about
are
to
you,
get to
are we
that.
seeing this?
Yeah,
See why communication is just so key.
I was
that
actually-
he didn't know
Yeah,
that she
yeah,
felt that
yeah,
way.
yeah,
Had
yeah.
she said something to him, who knows? He may have jumped onto the idea and just brought that young lady in because he may have been thinking it as well.
Now, that's just
as
an
an
example
individual.
we brought, just a situation. That's not happening to Val. Okay, just
Not at all.
just be clear.
And just to go back to the point that Medley's brought as it relates to communication. Communication, when, everyone says, the best thing for your relationship is communication. And it's true because that could be one reason stemming from not communicating with your partner properly.
Right.
That
Yes.
you may
Yes.
have feelings for the opposite sex. But also, I think that when you don't communicate of your past experiences with your partner, that can also be an underlying,
Right.
to potential cheating.
Yep.
I mean, let's talk about if you did not close a chapter in your life, a past relationship, and not disclosing that to your partner, and that other partner comes in, that may be a form of cheating. So I think a lot of problems that stem in relationships is communication. Literally
Exactly.
bearing your soul
Hold on.
to
Yeah,
that
yeah,
partner,
listen.
Wait.
letting them know.
Did you
exactly.
just say that if you did not close a chapter and you didn't tell your partner, then it's cheating?
No. What I'm saying is, supposing you were dating this guy, and this guy, for whatever reason, y'all separated. Y'all didn't break up, y'all separated. Probably
He
went over,
moved.
right,
Okay,
that
okay,
sort of
okay,
thing.
okay,
Right.
Right, and y'all probably never had any form of communication.
There was no closure.
Right.
Right.
You meet this new guy. Y'all started to date. Things are fantastic. It's great. That sort of thing.
Ah.
You
He
understand what
comes
I'm saying?
back.
And
Hey,
yes.
Choco, back in town.
But then you did not have this conversation with your partner in the initial stages when we're getting to know each
Right,
other. That
right.
this happened. I was dating X and X.
Okay.
That sort of thing.
I follow. I
Right,
follow.
and then Y comes back
That's
in.
wrong, but is it cheating though?
No, because what may happen
You may still be emotionally
attached to that
the
person.
guy.
You
Right.
understand
You may
what I'm
still
saying?
be emotionally attached to him
True.
and your partner.
But would you think
Poor
that
guy.
you as a guy, would you be able to handle someone that you're dating being able to disclose that information to you and seeing how you could move forward in the relationship with that? Knowing that that person may have an emotional attachment. Because it can go both ways.
Yes.
Let's not think that this is just, on one side of the fence. It can go
Either
both
way.
ways for either one of the partners.
Emotional attachment is like a fire. Unless you don't throw wood in it, then it doesn't grow.
Fire.
Yeah,
Wow,
so-
Val. That's powerful.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
so-
like, listen, if you had an emotional attachment with this person, as long as you don't spend time with this person, in order to
It
grow,
won't develop.
it won't develop. So it won't develop into physical.
Okay.
So
I
not only
get
that,
you.
but the emotional
I
part
get
wouldn't.
you.
It's almost like you stop talking to somebody, you stop messaging them, you stop having
Right,
conversation, you
right,
stop checking on them.
Right.
Then
I guess out of
it-
sight,
it-
out of mind.
it
Sort of
would,
thing.
it would die. It would eventually die. So yeah, you had an emotional attachment. I understand. As long as you're not, hey, I'm going to see him tomorrow. Hey, or, unless they work together.
But there are
That's-
situations,
that's
guys.
interesting.
What if there's this situation where there's this couple, they have agreed that it's just them. It's a closed relationship. It's just the two of them. The gentleman, he has his ex-girlfriend who they have closed off on their relationship because she's seeing somebody else as well.
Okay.
She and the other person are living together. They are happy, supposedly. But the young lady seems to confide in this young man. She still confides in him. to the point where she needs his advice on every day.
On her new relationship?
She needs advice from the old boyfriend. She's seeking advice from the old boyfriend.
Wow, that's
They've moved on. They have each moved
I
on,
know
and
of a
they're
relationship
grown.
that way. I know of a relationship that way.
But the new girlfriend,
can't handle it.
no, because she is.
My book.
They had agreed that it's just the two of them, but that coming in of the ex-girlfriend,
considers it.
she's
threat.
uneasy about it.
It's a threat.
It is a threat.
It's a
So is there any potential cheating that can go on? Can she consider that cheating? Does she have grounds
To even
think that
it's
way?
cheating?
You know, what's your take?
I think it's highly inappropriate. If y'all broke up,
Right,
Our new relationship has nothing to do with your ex. But some people, they break up and they remain friends. They maintain the friendship. But I think it's really, overboard to be discussing your personal issues with someone who you were connected to emotionally and physically. But then, in some cases, you share a child. You have a child together.
Yes, yes.
And that's usually an excuse some men or some women have to keep communication flowing, open with their ex. And it has a lot to do with the other partner to be, I don't know, what's the word? To be confident, to not be insecure, and to just accept that, hey, I have you, you have me, and we're moving on. So it's okay, y'all can talk, but just make sure that we
There's a
respect each
boundary,
other. There's
okay.
a boundary.
Hey man, they should set boundaries. Definitely.
Boundaries
Yes.
are important.
Boundaries, key. Another key.
That's why some people are afraid of having relationships. All
Yes.
of these rules and regulations and boundaries. And
I like that.
There are too many
rules,
rules.
regulations,
But that's a
guidelines,
serious
Listen,
thing. It's a
boundaries,
serious
think-
thing.
understandings, verbal contracts.
Yes.
No, I think, everyone needs to find the relationship that works
Best
for you and your
suits
partner.
them.
You know what I mean? Because I think if we constantly listen to the external factors of how people think your relationship should be, that can also put some sort of pressure on the two individuals.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that can cause in some shape, way, or form cheating.
And like Val said earlier about communication, you don't have to go to your parents, go to your girlfriends, something happens in the relationship and you have to run to somebody. That you have to sit down and you have to have that conversation with whoever, with your spouse, with your husband, with your boyfriend,
Because
with your
it's about
girlfriend.
you.
Exactly. Because when you go outside there, now you're having this emotional attachment because they give you such great advice.
Or
then
they
after-
listen.
they listen, and now you're seeking more advice. You're seeking more advice, and then what do you know? The next thing happens, and you're holding secrets from your boo.
The interesting thing is that there's the type of cheaters, the men who don't cheat intentionally. It's not something that is deliberate. It usually starts off by talking to
Exactly.
somebody at work, about your issues at home, with your problems, and you may find that person seems to be more, they're doing the things, they're telling you the things that the person at home isn't.
Is not saying.
So in other words, they're meeting a need that the person at home isn't meeting. Now, you usually find the person outside is always doing the things that the person inside is doing. But then again, the person outside may not be fulfilling the needs that the person inside is doing. But in the short term, you're not seeing it that way. The
Yeah.
80-20 rule, remember
Yeah,
that
yeah,
from
yeah,
the
yeah.
movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah, from the movie. So that's how there's certain men who don't deliberate. They don't say, you know what, I'm going out and cheating on my wife today.
Right.
But then they're at work, and then they might meet a friend or colleague at work who's very affirms them, the ideas, the things that they like to do. That's a really amazing idea. That was a good initiative on your part. And the wife, they come home, and the wife doesn't do that.
Yeah.
The girlfriend doesn't
You always
affirm
think of
them.
another ideas. You full of ideas. Just stick to your work. When you go home, you hear that.
Yeah.
Because you spending time in a different setting with the individual,
Right.
you guys have similar aspirations. You guys have certain goals at work, and to find somebody within the work environment that is complementary to you
Right.
mentally, it's stimulating to you in that area, and going home and your wife may not be interested in the kind of work that you do, or she doesn't understand it, or your
Right.
girlfriend doesn't understand that kind of work.
Ladies, let me just teach you something.
Whoa! Teach. We're We're at the feet
Yes.
of Val.
Let me break it down.
All right.
Apart from sex being the number one need for men,
It's true. Let's be honest,
Yes.
ladies.
Go
It's
right
true.
ahead. Go
the number
right
2 need for men is something called affirmation.
ahead. But why did you think that was going to be a teaching?
No, 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 no. It's something that
It's true.
a lot of women, you may know it, you may understand it, but a lot of women don't. It's the simple things of making a man feel like he is important. His views are important, his drive is important, what he's trying to do is important. His ideas are important. Even if you hey honey, I think you have something going on there, but you understand, in terms of how you deliver it, instead of knocking him down, because there
Right,
will
yes.
be women out there who will
Exactly.
show him that support, who will make him feel
Yeah.
like that
Right,
man.
yes.
And by the time they do that, right there you go.
Now, it's funny that you actually brought that up, talking about affirmation. And like you rightfully say, chocolate might know, but a lot of women, and let's be honest, we do not get how, as women, we're supposed to act in a relationship from our parents. It is taboo to talk about boyfriend with your mother. Let's be honest. You basically have to, you know,
You have to learn
try
by you
as
have
you
to
go along,
learn.
as you go along. And a
through
lot of
the
women don't necessarily know what they need to give their spouse or their partner in order for that relationship to grow. And like you rightfully said, if they don't get that from home, then they go out and they seek it from the
And
outside.
sometimes what they see at home is the only example they get.
Yeah.
If they get any example at home, because at home may be a situation where it's just a mother or it's
Right,
just a
yes.
father, and the kind of experiences that are there are nothing to be nothing worthwhile to be followed or to be examples to him or her as a young
And
person.
we're talking about the home, and we also have to understand that cheating is a psychological thing. It's something that it's made up from your socialization in terms of your brought up, see what your upbringing, your values, how
Tell
you
them,
train.
Dr. Val. Come on. Now.
But can we talk about that culture, that St. Lucian culture, where in St. Lucia, whether we want to agree or not, in the traditional sense of a relationship where it is a female and a male, or it's a man and a woman, it is accepted. Cheating is an accepted view in the St. Lucian society where men
Are concerned.
concerned.
That's a
Men are
general
expected
statement.
to.
General statement,
It
right?
is a general statement. When we look at the situation with outside children, that idea of vote-ins and legitimate children, I haven't done a survey, but I mean,
I'd
from
be
my
shocked if you did.
but in my life and the people that I know, and you can think of the people that you know, just about every other person, or just about every 2 people was an outside child or is an outside child or is from a relationship where the father went out
The
and
mother
had
too.
the mother went out and had a child. When it is the mother who has gone out, it's almost like, what?
Crucify
That
her.
is, yes.
Yeah, but we have to remind ourselves that the men are not sleeping outside with themselves. They're sleeping outside with other women.
Yes.
But it's-
they are.
You panic,
Yeah.
They
where's
are.
Pani Vole?
They are. That is true.
What
But
I'm
it's
saying,
being-
what I'm saying, this is not a men thing.
Yeah.
There are women who know that men are married and still go after them. The women, that's why the Jabal thing.
Yeah,
so this
but
is
there
not.
are women
it's-
who know the men are married and they say no, but the married men continually pursue.
Knowing
with excuses about, oh, we're not really together, we're in the same house, we have this big investment of a house, so we're still together with no divorce, but she treats me so bad, that woman's so wicked, she's not cooking for me, she's not looking at me, but you make me feel so good, just talking to you I feel so good. And sometimes the woman,
And it's
And
actually
knowing the
accepted.
go ahead.
It's actually accepted in our culture. You understand? Like, it's okay for the man to go out and sleep with other women, but as soon as a woman does it, oh my gosh, we have
crucify her.
yes.
But
I don't know
a
what
lot of
culture
times
it is.
within our society, economics plays a big role in this whole thing.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Because
So true.
for the woman who is doing the menial tasks because she was not able to go to school. She had to stay home to take care of the other siblings, and so the job that she does doesn't pay as much, or she isn't even working. And that married man chocolate keeps knocking at her door. He just keeps knocking, and for
Yes.
you know,
And initially,
for,
only wants friendship.
yes, he only
friends.
wants
You can have
friendship,
friends.
and so she's offering that, and then she realizes, hey, this is an opportunity.
For prostitution?
No,
Well,
for survival.
Prostitution.
Survival.
Okay,
honey.
we're getting a
Survival
very,
by
very
prostitution.
spirited conversation right here. We're talking about cheating here on the Soup. Of course, we have our guest in studio, Val, and of course, our beautiful Soup ladies here. We're going to take a quick commercial break and be back in just a bit.